That's why I have to choose this.
એટલે હવે પછી કોઈ ચેન્જ નહીં થાય આમાં
થશે કરવું હશે તો
થોડુંક જો આને જરાક હા આખું
બસ
લાઇટ
એ તો આમાં ચાલુ થશે એટલે થઈ જશે.
અને રેગ્યુલર હવે આ મટીરિયલના થશે આપણા લેક્ચર્સને.
So, quickly announcement before we start session. This lecture of Materia Medica of myself will be regular basis. So, those who are
Ready,
attending today should continue the other lectures also because it will be continuation of the drugs also or maybe the cases, whatever it is. So, if you miss any lecture, the grade will be discontinued, right? So, according on my convenience, I will send you message, Sonal will send you message and you have to confirm and you can tell your friends also, those who want to learn and upgrade their knowledge of Materia Medica. Second thing, on 11th of September, Sunday, there is a blood donation camp. So if you are interested in helping others, helping the others' life, enjoy your blood will be helpful, donations will be helpful to people those who need blood. They will make you card also, the blood bank will come over here, they will taste your blood hemoglobin. If it is above 12, then only you are eligible for the donations. And then after they get the card of blood bank, so whenever any family member, yours or your family member require, the priority will be given to you for 1 year. And you will give a discount also to get the one blood unit. And then after donations, refreshments is required because according to the criteria of the blood donation. And then the blood bank and our NGO will give gift also those who give donation. Because the one unit of your can save the life of others. So those who can give, please come forward and you can tell to your other friends also. This is the totally charitable work. It will help to the other people. So the post will circulate next week and that post you should circulate to your friends, family members who regularly give donations, donors also or who wanted to give and come forward and help the society. So there are two this announcement and we will think today's your suggestion that 10:30 to 11:30 because then our OPD time is 11 to 1 over here. That is why we have to keep either 1 o'clock after finishing our OPD can continue this session or before starts our OPD. So then you are So good afternoon everybody. Now we will have a clinical Materia Medica series of understanding of few important remedies on a regular basis. Anybody want to join, they can join. There is no fees for this. And I will share my experience about whatever drug we choose. This will be completely clinically and comparisons with the other drugs. As in Materia Medica, you are learning from head to foot. Our all Materia Medica teaches you, so that you know very well. But the most important part, when I was also student, I was facing then when the remedy should be used and how to interpret it in a clinically in a cases. So that I would like to share with you. So today we have chosen a one drug and that is a platina. And we know that this drug is very important constitutionally as well as whenever the indications are there, we can give remedy. So let us start some of the basic qualities we should know from our patient. So always, whenever we start learning a remedy, we should know the child of that particular polycrest remedy wherever is possible. So today, in Platina, there are basic qualities we should see in our patient. How child develop this state of mind, how this child behave, and how we interpret it in our practice. Because generally, Platina we use in adult more, and particularly female more, because we are taught by our teachers and our Materia Medica showing that whenever ego is there, whenever is an nymphomania is there, troubling complaints are there, we should prescribe this remedy. But there are many more indications or clinical features are there. So here I had one case of child in Singapore, 6 years old child, suffering from severe constipation. Right? Constipation is very common in children. She used to cry before and after passing. Due to this, she developed fear of pain while passing stool. So sometimes, avoid to go. Does not want to go. The mother said that she don't want to go for 2 or 3 days, and she is enjoying that. So we always think about Calcarea carbonicum, constipation regulations or constipation, but she developed fear of pain while passing stool. She used to cry a lot, screaming. So whenever the constipations are there, first drug comes in our mind is cholinsonia. The cholinsonia 30 was given only on few indications. Only on this indication I have prescribed. And if you read cholinsonia, one of the best remedy for constipation, and it gives a quick relief for a time being, because it's a small remedy, pathological remedy. This medicine was given to this child. The child was not improved. So then after, taken a whole history, called for a constitutional history, because it's a chronic problem. Many children suffering from constipation and crying because of the hard stool, because of the pain. And the child was very arrogant, misbehaving with her servant. See, here also that trend has started. For the development, for helping, every parents are keeping one maid, child helper or child care person. So there is a fashion as well as its requirement also, because you cannot handle one child alone with the one parent, because the other parents are always busy with the, or sometimes both the parents are working and the child at home also somebody has to be taken care. So they always keep one maid for the helping or for brought up and the other things which maid has to do, for especially for child. I had so many patients over there, they are keeping 2 helpers. The one carrying all the stuff wherever the child goes, and another is also holding the hand. And the parents are either they are joining or they may not join wherever they go for shopping or school or activity classes. The most important thing in a foreign, every child keeps in an activity class. A morning play group, school or preschool, and the afternoon or evening once or twice activity classes like swimming, like playing football or music, whatever it is. So they need this help from the maid servant. Now this child, we came to the clinic consulting room over there, was a demanding to the maid. I want this, like that way. They are calling the servant as a maid or helper as a their servant and shouting and shriek also. ये क्यों नहीं दे रहे हो? ये ले मुझे बॉटल दीजिए, मुझे खाना दीजिए. The way child asking help, it's not a fun. It's not a good behavior. Because after all, the maid is elder. So the shrieks, the shouts, and the desire is not fulfilled, or the servant or maid is not listening, then they become hyper also, they kicks also, they shriek also, they strike also. These are the things we observe from many children who behave like this. So what is that? Shrieking, anger, irritability, shouting, obstinate. These many symptoms we will get from the child behavior. Right? Then you have to differentiate other remedies, because shrieking, shouting is not commonly. Whenever they are sick and they shout, they become irritable, can be considered. But in a normal behavior, if they want lunch box, if they want their own belonging, and then shout, call with a name only, name like whatever the name of that maid, they call with a name, and then very foul language or abusive language they use. So these we have observed many times, and this child behaving like that, and the parents has confirmed also, not with the maid servant, with parents also child behaving like this. So important things we should take, and we have to consider arrogant behavior. Arrogant behavior, demanding some food or things, and they shout. Further inquiry with the parents, a mother told that in the school she behaved very goodly. So that part sometimes very commonly found in many children, which generally behave with the maid also. You have to confirm twice and thrice in your practice, and this was again confirmed by parents that school teacher also complained in a playgroup center. Behaving very rudely with other children. Just like every day complaint comes. This child has injured other classmates. Unexpected. The many times the teacher complained them about her behavior. So that has confirmed the child is not a normal, sober, serious, or we can say an obedient child is not there. Generally, the child should obey the instruction of the teacher in the classroom. But this child was not. So there are many things comes in our mind about the behavior, and that we will confirm. This child does not mix with other children. Why? That we will understand. Either the child has a lot of ego, either the child is very obstinate, either the child is sick, or either the nature or temperament is like that, does not want to mix, or shyness, or dull. Beraida is not mixing. Why? Because of the dullness. Platina, Lyco, why not mixing? Because of the self-esteem is very high. Chamomilla, not mixing, or because of the irritability, anger is there. So we have some image comes in our mind. The child is rudely behavior with elders, abusive language, very obstinate, like shrieking and shouting, and does not mix with other children. Right? Now, these children, or particular this child, show off her belongings like bags, water bottles, and boxes. They generally show to other children. Oh, my father brought this back from US. This lunch box from this country. It is very expensive. It is very expensive, not allowing to touch also. And they offer and then you take back. They are not allowing. Because they are very much possessive about things, they feel that this is very expensive, you are not allowed to touch because I am coming from that royal family. This high level of lifestyle of mine, you cannot afford this. So you have to just show, you have to just see only. So that is there. If other friends have a same thing, suppose by mistake, same water bag, same bag, same compass box, same stationaries, other can also buy because same type of student must be there in the class. So say some new things better than her, then she goes home and demands with parents to purchase them. This child also, parents told me, if we will not give, then she will not behave properly, she become obstinate, she become offended, she will not talk to herself, and at any cost we have to give. Right? She cannot bear that others are better than me. Not in a study, not in a appearance, but even in the things also, her things should be more superior than anybody else. So what is this suggesting? All these things suggesting of self-esteem is very high. Ego. See, to get the ego in children directly you may not get. I had another patient over here. I told many times teaching students, 6 or 8 years girl. When the whole family was invited for a wedding, the girl was asking, my name is not written, it is written the Mr. and Mrs. Patel and family. But my name is not written, so I will not join. What is that? 7-year-old girl required name should be right on a wedding invitation. That shows the ego is very high. So this way we have to interpret patient's ego, children ego. Otherwise directly to get the ego in this age, very tough, very tough. So you have to ask the behavior of the child at home, you have to observe the behavior at clinic, whatever time he or he with you, half an hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes, that, and then confirm with the teachers also. So that story will be given by parents. So that's suggesting all type of things. So if parents brought things for her, then she never show any gratitude or say thanks. This is the most important. Another patient I had, 2 daughters, the one in a school and another in a primary school. Parents is, whenever we brought something for both the daughters, my elder daughter, who is 12 years old, always say thanks, and she is 9 years old. Never say thanks, never say gratitude towards us. Whatever we brought, even though we brought a better things for her, never say. She felt that this is my right. I am that much superior and capable, and I am much more deserved. That's why you are giving to me. If I am helping to you, then you will think like that. I am a person like that, so you have to help me. Such type of mentality they have. I am coming from that breed, royal breed. मैं राजा महाराजा के फैमिली से ऐसे आ रही हूँ, तो आपको मुझे सेवा करनी है, आपकी मेरी आपको मुझे हेल्प करना ही है. This is my right. what happened in the film industries? Children or politician children, they come in a Mercedes car, the driver take them, take to them the school also, take the bags also, and then at the end of the class also they are just standing near the class, not a gate also, then they pick up and then why? These type of things make them more and more ego, more stronger. Because they feel we are coming from that rich family, so we deserve. So these children never say thanks, never show the gratitude towards the parents, towards the teachers, whomsoever. So that's showing ego. Then again on a detailed study, she laughs when the other classmates got punishment by teachers. This is the very, very important. This was confirmed by teachers. Many times, many students enjoy. If two people are fighting, the third is always enjoyed, right? So here, in a Platina child, always laughs, always enjoy. At the back of the mind, think that, oh, she is punished. I am not punished because I am very smart, I am very beautiful, I am very talented. So nobody will punish me. Whole class can punish, but myself cannot. So they always laugh on others' punishments. Very moody. You cannot expect. Temperament can be changed. If she has a mood, then go to play. Otherwise, sit in a room only. She does not like. Does not like to play. Or sometimes she like to play. You cannot predict. You cannot plan according to the mood changes. She is very foodie and love to eat different foods, different type of foods. We have seen these children does not like a regular patterns of the food. Every home has a pattern of the food. The morning is chapati, rice and dal. In the evening is some snacks like food. But this children wants every time different foods. One day pizza, one day burger, one day McDonald's or noodles, different food. But they are foodie. Because I have not taken a bird to eat rice and dal and chapati every day. I am not deserving for that. So they need food every day. Different type of food, and they are very foodie. She enjoys traveling in music, loves traveling in music. Very careless about the belongings. Platina, either they are themselves feeling that I have not taken a birth to do all this work. When we learn adult, I will show you the clips also. The servant and maids are there to help me to take care of my belongings. If my pen is not there, if my bag is not there, she or he is responsible, not I am responsible. She has lost my bag, even though in a real she was not taking care of bag or stationery or whatever belongings. On the contrary, blaming to the her help. So what this type of behavior? She are very careless about her belongings. Now careless about belongings are sulfur is there. Totally different philosophy is there. Here totally different. So now let us take all these things we consider and we take in a repertoire. Those who are fourth year can enjoy, our third year students can learn, It will help you. Now tell me which are the rubrics should be taken. This is a bilateral, not a one side only I have to speak. I have explained whole case of child suffering from constipation, behavior. I have told you which are the things we should take and which are the rubrics should be taken. Now tell me from last row to first row, which are the rubrics should be taken. You tell me, I will save. So it has to be bilateral. If it is wrong, don't worry. If it is wrong, don't worry. I want to know how much you are understanding from the child, case, history, what you interpreted. Bol dikha. What's your name? Utsav.
Arrogant behavior.
Very good. One is arrogant behavior. Now we will take a arrogant behavior in a rubric. Any other rubric? Second row. The one is arrogant. Obstinate. Very good. Second is obstinate. The one is arrogant, another is obstinate. Then egotism. Right. Now you have to check whenever the one rubric you take, you have to check the other cross references. So you cannot take all rubrics with the same meaning. Correct? So one is a arrogant, egotism, or cross references,
40.
obstinate, then
Attention seeking behavior and need for acknowledgement.
okay, attention seeking. So what do you take in a rubric? Attention desire, right? Attention desire, okay? Then, are there any more rubrics from behavior?
Contemptuous.
Contemptuous, okay? What do you mean by contemptuous? Anybody know? Contemptuous.
Tiraskar.
Yes, very good. Tiraskar. Contemptuous. Tiraskar. Then any other?
Need for controlling.
Need for controlling.
Casting of people against her will.
Asking of people against her will.
This can relate with that.
Close that. So, these are the few rubrics we should consider. There are many medicines coming from this rubric. Now you have to differentiate with your knowledge of Madhya Medica, and then you have to reconfirm whenever the close remedy is there. So here also there are few remedy close that we have to differentiate. Some technical problems, software, and this also body. Otherwise, we have a slide. I want to show you the live repetization. That's why. Okay, forget it, then we'll show this. Alright, already we have taken a few rubrics and we have already repertorized case. Haughty, somebody has told. Haughty, jealousy, obstinate, you have told. Abusive, traveling desire, music emulation, and constipation in children. Right? The remedy was coming Lyco and Platina, close. Now you have to choose the which remedy, and now other remedies are also there. So with your knowledge of materia medica, you have to choose. Does not mean that whatever the medicine coming first, you have to prescribe. Here the behavior in front of you in your consulting room, haughty behavior was there. So haughty behavior you can see in a lycopodium also, in a platina also, and the lyco particularly does with those who are inferior to it. The platina behave very normal behavior. So that history will help you. So here the platina was very close because of the all rubrics except music emulation is not there. But these are the things we have learned our materia medica teachers that platina is a remedy for the female and adult and adolescent stage generally we prescribe in the childhood platina very few people prescribe, right? So that's why we don't have that much experience, but if totality matches, you should go for that. Now here you can compare with chamomilla because this behavior, irritability, sensitivity, snappish behavior, difficult to please, capriciousness, when the things are offered they refuses, capriciousness. The meaning of capriciousness we ask in exams also. Desire for many things, but when they offered by caretakers or by any other people, they refuses. So that is a caprice. Loud shrieking, demanding, not required unless carried, one of the important symptoms of chamomilla. And during dentition, this remedy we are using many times as a constitutional also, as in an acute also. When the fever is there, they are not allowed to touch also. And then you can differentiate with the other remedy. High grade fever with the respiratory infections, upper respiratory infections, behavior of child is like that. You can prescribe chamomilla 200 frequently. Just 2 days before the child had a high grade fever, 100 to 103 fever. Whole body was hot except extremity. On examinations, throat was red, inflamed. Belladonna warning was prescribed. Fever was 100 to 103. After 2 doses, the fever died. Coldness of the extremities, other part of the body, hot. Then deep congested throat, high grade fever. So chamomilla also we prescribe in acute also and in a behavior problem also we prescribe. The sensitive to pain, chamomilla is 3. They cannot bear any pain. Then here the platina, foppish behavior, very common. Foppish means the child very much concerned about the dressing, very much meticulous and concerned about dressing. They want all matching. They want all expensive things. And the child is always impolite. So you can confirm from parents, from the dressing sense also. 6 years or 8 years, 10 years old child have that much sense of dressing. Everything should be matched. Everything is branded. Everything very expensive. And which things are matches more. That is you should consider as a foppish behavior. Then they behave foolish also. When they have to go for a school, they dress like a party. Dress up like party wear. So that is a foolish. But it looks like a foolish, but actually they want to show off their beauty, their wealth, everything. So here also they dresses indecently. They want to show their beauty. They wanted to show their body. So dresses indecently platinum. They behave with a lot of rudeness, as we already discussed. And these qualities of rude behavior continue in adolescence also, in adult also, in old age also. I will tell you many cases of adult platina, how they behave with the family members, with the husband, with the others. So, rudeness running through the whole drug picture. Platina cannot be mild like bread, pulsatilla. Sometimes they are so rude that they can insult the close one in the front of all. This is the most important thing. They enjoy. They are showing their power to others. Oh, how can I insult this? This is my power. They want to show power. So they insult servants or any other in front of close one. And they enjoy pleasure and satisfaction. These children who will not mix with anybody or everybody. I cannot mix with the servant children. I cannot mix with them because I don't like the behavior or the constitution, dirty constitution, looks, habits, the dressing sense. I don't. It's not like that the mental level or emotional level match. From the just look, they feel they are not of my level. So they will not mix. They will associate with a few selected friends only, or they will prefer to sit alone in a school bench. They will not allow. They will not allow the normal or substandard students or substandard financial students or friends to sit in. Right? So these all things showing the ego. These things you can get from parents, you can get from the caretaker, or you can get from teachers. You have to ask, because child is not going to speak out all the time. Now, lycopodium child, how to differentiate? Because then you will ask also, lyco is also ego. How to differentiate? Now, lyco are serious, looking, never smiling. Anger with shyness. बहुत shy और bossy है. Rude to parents, but at school they are very obedient. So absolutely opposite behavior. where the platina has been. Here the teacher says, oh, he is or she is so curious, so obedient, follow all instructions. While at home, parents is not at all following any instruction, not obedient, very obstinate, and very self-esteem is very high. So this is the difference. Wants to dominate others, like oh, hard with inferior but soft with superior. So at school, with other friends, maybe soft, but at home, with the younger sisters, younger brothers, or other family members, always dominant. Wants to be alone but afraid to be separate. Wants only with those people who then he can dominate. So he wants those people who follow him, who follow instructions. Whatever he or she says has to be followed by others. So he enjoys. So basically, inferiority is compensated with a dominating behavior, and he enjoys. He feels I am superior. Child wakes up in the morning with sadness, and cowardice, shyness is a key features of lipo children. So you can prescribe lipo whenever you come across this type of symptom. Clinically, you have to see, you have to ask parents, teachers, brothers, sisters, younger brothers, sisters, you can take this history, whatever the sources are available, and you can confirm. Because to differentiate child psychology sometimes very tough. Now these children, platina, they carry their exclusive material, their books, their bags, their compass box will have that extraordinary, very exclusive, branded. Then you can ask the parents, why you are giving this type of, they will demand for it. If the demand will not fulfill, they does a temper, become very obstinate, very arrogant behavior. So we have to give, because they know that my parents can afford. They are smart. They can afford. They know the financial status. So they want a big high demand. So from these things also, while pulsating, whatever you do, they can adjust. Calcaria don't mind at all. Shirisha, oh shy. So they will not ask. If the two daughters are there, the one is Shirisha, surrender, and the other one will be Platina. All the time demanding, all the time dominating. So these are the difference between all the remedies. They will try to show off their wealth, while other remedy will not try to show. They try, they show. For them the money, luxury, branded things is very important. Show off their precious possession of what their parents got for them from some foreign countries. Whatever they are always there. This is very expensive, this precious, don't touch it. My parents got it all the way from the US or UK or whatever it is. The branded. So tell us so many things about her belongings to her friend to show off. So showing that gives the satisfaction, and then the ego will be more and they are boasters. They boast the things. They will be proud about it. At the same time, if somebody has possessed similar thing, they feel jealousy. Very important. They feel jealousy. Same thing or better than whatever they have, if other friend have, then they feel jealousy. And because of the jealousy, they become destructive also. मेरे पास ऐसा नहीं है आईफोन 13 कि मेरी फ्रेंड के पास कैसे हो सकता? My standard is high. How can she has? So she feels jealousy about that. So boasting, platina and platinum exaggerate themselves. We have millions of rupees. We have 4-5 cars, branded Mercedes, BMW, and then so many drivers are there. And the boasting like anything, the opposite person definitely feel inferior. Oh my God, what type of life you are enjoying. Even small children boast about their parents' financial things, their lifestyle, and their belongings. Squandered through the ostentations, platina, one of the money, they spend money. Do not require at that place also they spend money. Easy to show. When it's required to spend 100 rupees, they spend more to show. Okay. Tip. When they go to hotel, they give tip 500 on a bill of 100 or a bill of 1000 spending. Okay, so that's showing that oh, they don't mind, so they are not. Haughty and arrogant again you will get in Veratram. So platina, lyco, veratrum, these are haughty behavior children, but differentiation is very important. Today I am sure after 1.5 hours you must have the idea about the platina child, veratrum child and the lyco child. There should not be any confusion of understanding of this remedy. So whenever you come across these children for any physical problem, either respiratory conditions, recurrent cough and cold, recurrent diarrhea, recurrent skin disease, whatever it is, you can prescribe. So boasting, and this is to consider as a rich. Again, they are also boasting, flattering, paying sickness to get the sympathy. To get the sympathy, there's a pain sickness. Abdomen pain is not there. You feel, oh, I have abdomen pain, to get the sympathy. Liar, cheaters in the sleep life. They are liar. They speak lie and mislead to reach their goals. Whatever they want to get, they will get it. They speak lie. Right? So that is a veratrum child. Now if in platina, if other possess something which is different from what they are jealous and they also want to have the same thing that anyhow. If other friend have different and expensive things by chance, she demand for it at any cost and she get it. So we fight for that with the parents. You must have seen, if two daughters are there, the elder is in a 7th or 8th standard and then younger one in a 4th or 5th. So standards are different, the requirements are different, the things will be more separate requirement is there. But the daughter is very egoistic, younger daughter, then definitely demand for that things. Demand for things which elders have. So that's showing the again the egoism. envy is a means if you have this, I should also get it. That is envy. But if I don't have and you have and has to be break or destroy, that is the jealousy. आपके पास ये है ये चीज नहीं कोई चीज मुझे भी चाहिए, so I should have it at any cost. That is envy. अगर मेरे पास भी नहीं है तो आपके पास भी नहीं होना चाहिए वो चीज, एक्सपेंसिव चीज. अगर आपके पास आईफोन है तो मुझे भी आईफोन चाहिए. मेरे पास नहीं है तो आपके पास भी नहीं है. आपका आईफोन टूट जाना चाहिए, ब्रेक होना चाहिए, चुरा जाना. That is a jealousy. So difference between jealousy and envy we have interpreted properly. Revengeful. If the things do not have something that others have. So that is a jealousy and revengeful in a platina. First they feel jealous. If they cannot get it the same way, then they try to take revenge. They may just cut off the relationship once somebody goes against their wish as if they never existed. Cut off relationships once somebody goes against the wish. Whatever she has told to do and you are not doing according to her wishes, then she will not continue relationship any longer, because she feels that whatever I am told to do, you have to do. Whatever I say is right. So all these things revolve around the ego, possessiveness, power. This children does. I have seen many children, the younger son or girl dominate on the elder brother or sister. Why? She feels like that. I'm right. All the time I'm right. So the quality of cutting of relationship continues even in a later stage of life. This behavior, this temperament will continue in adult also. As if there was no relationship between them ever. These are the children who are ungrateful. This is the most important thing I have seen in Platina. Ladies, Platina adults, Platina adolescents, Platina children. Ungratefulness, very, very important for what the parents does for them, whether they have teachers has done for them, whether the caretaker has done for them, whether the friends have taken them. Why they are ungrateful? If I do something for you in a free of cost, you should say thanks to me, right? But Platina children, Platina adolescents never say thanks to anybody and ungrateful. There is no gratitude. Why? They feel I am deserving for them. I am so beautiful, so smart, so handsome. I am so smart and clever. My mental level is so high. I am coming from royal family. So on the contrary, I have given a chance to help me. I have given a chance to help me. And that is why I am not grateful. That is why no gratitude. This is the most essence of Platina. Lady, Platina adult or Platina child. They feel मैं इतनी अच्छी ब्यूटीफुल लग रही हो तो आप मेरे लिए सब कुछ करोगे ही ना. You will revolve around me. You will fulfill my demand. Because my constitution is not like your constitution. I am something different. I am something special. So that is why I am giving chance to help you. So Platina are always ungrateful. The only 3 mark remedy given in this rubric, ungratefulness. So whenever you come across and if the ungratefulness is too much and other few symptoms matches, Try this remedy. Try this remedy. Take it from me, your patient will 100% improve. Ungratefulness is so much. So much. Sulfur is also there, but not like platinum. So these children have a changeable mood. Sometimes they play well and sometimes they go opposite. Changeable mood. There is no childlike innocence. See, always the child is like very innocent, very mild, very lovable. No, from face, very arrogant behavior, dictatorial, reserved, will not allow you touch. From face, from expression, you feel something is wrong. So that means how to interpret it from the child behavior, from child case. So that's given in a platinum only 1 mark, but these are the very common we see. They carry the tubercular training right from the young age. Children are so dirty, as I told you, careless, illness, they're rubric, they don't like, because they feel, I have not taken a word for do such utensil work or this domestic work. The people should come and do my domestic work and to help. The contrary, I am giving chance to them. So they do not clean themselves properly. They remain in such a condition for a long time. If you see that this type of children, I've seen it in foreign, the two maids are the one maid is combing the one side of the hair, another maid is combing the other side of the hair, one is wearing the socks, another is also maid is helping socks. So the ego will be more pompous, more and more. You are giving that type of lifestyle and then definitely they have seen all these things, so they must have an ego. In my parents' place, when they became adult and then argue with the husband, what they generally, my parents' place, the 4 maids were helping me to dress up. And here, I should help to you? Impossible. It's not possible. That's why not I marry with you. Or you marry with me, not I marry with you. You marry with me. Right? So this is the things of platina dirty is there. Children postpone their studies to the next day. If you tell them to clean the room or do work, always say next day. No, day after tomorrow. They will not do immediately. They will not do. They are, as I told you, they don't like. That is why they are postponing. Here the meadowrhinum and nectar is also they are postponing. They develop sleeplessness, anxiety, restlessness. Postponing to the next day, meadowrhinum is there. Platina is there, nectar is there. So nectar child, very cross, when spoken to, very irritable, consolation does not like, cry slightest cause, revengeful. Aversion to presence of strangers while passing, tendency to make mistakes in speaking and writing, awkward things drops from hands, very common. Apis is also important remedy, and the acute remedy is apis. Bovishka is also there. One of just 2 days before, the one old person came with a history of things drops from my hands. like responsibility, shellfish in life, destructiveness remarks, throw things at things, and child cross during the day. So meadowrhinum is also one of the remedy can be think when the psychotic miasm is inevitable there. So many other symptoms are there. Now these children, Latina young children have ego, greediness, capricious nature, and those who are ungrateful is a typical Latina. So if you learn Latina child, you should remember these things. And I'm sure today we will discuss only the child. Next time we will go further in a continuation, adult, and a few more cases. So in a child, if you have to describe, this much is required. And that you have to interpret it properly. Ungratefulness, ego, greediness, capriciousness. So we should continue next time with the Latina adult and more cases. Right? Once again, thank you very much for listening.